From the walking meme that is the giant panda, to the ridiculously cute sandcat, the young pygmy hippo, the rare bonobo, the gerenuk practicing its upright walk, and the fascinating black and rufous elephant shrew, not to mention the inseparable brown bear brothers. All these adorable animals live in the Berlin Zoo. With a history of 180 years, this zoo is hands down one of the best I've ever visited. The animals all looked healthy and well cared for, which really says a lot about how well the place is run. Most of the animals here have habitats that really suit their needs, especially the giant pandas. There are only 4 pandas in all of Germany, and every single one of them lives right here at the Berlin Zoo. Like all panda enclosures around the world, the one in Berlin is seriously impressive. Spacious, well-designed, and definitely top tier. Since pandas are native to cold, high-altitude bamboo forests, Berlin's winter doesn't bother them at all. Originally, the zoo was home to just 2 pandas, Meng Meng and Zhao Qing, but last year, Meng Meng gave birth to twins, Lenny and Lottie, doubling the panda population overnight. When I last visited, the twins were still tiny. They had a special viewing schedule, just 1 hour a day, from 1:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon. I had to line up forever each time, just to catch a glimpse of them, usually fast asleep. Another crowd favorite at the zoo is Tony, the baby pygmy hippo who lives in Hippo Bay. As everyone knows, when it comes to mammals, the smaller they are, the cuter they get. Pygmy hippos are already a mini version of the regular kind, and way more adorable. But Tony? Tony is a baby pygmy hippo, which basically means she's a mini version of the mini version. Her cuteness is off the charts. She lives with her mom, Debbie, in one of the zoo's most popular enclosures. Every time I visit, there's always a group of visitors gathered around, holding their breath and hoping she'll swim by. Bonobos used to be called pygmy chimpanzees, but that was actually a long-standing misunderstanding. In reality, bonobos aren't that much smaller than common chimpanzees. While they are a bit more slender, the size difference is pretty minimal. Compared to chimps, bonobos tend to have longer limbs, darker faces, and pinker lips. Honestly, if there weren't signs next to their enclosures, I don't think I'd be able to tell them apart. About 2 million years ago, the Congo River, one of the world's great rivers, formed and became a major natural barrier. For chimpanzees, it was impossible to cross. The populations on either side were cut off from each other, and over time, the group living to the south evolved into what we now know as bonobos. The okapi is the giraffe's only living relative. Like giraffes, they're quiet and graceful, but looks-wise, they're totally different. Okapis kind of look like a giraffe mixed with a zebra. They've got zebra-like stripes on their legs and hindquarters. There's a theory that those striped rumps act like a visual follow me signal, helping calves keep track of their mothers in the dense rainforest so they don't get lost. Okapis are classified as endangered by the IUCN, but thankfully, zoos have had some success breeding them. The Bronx Zoo and the San Diego Zoo in the US have raised quite a few, and in Europe, more than 20 zoos currently house okapis, 6 of them in Germany alone. The Babirusa enclosure is a bit tucked away, right at the border between the cattle area and the Eagle Canyon. These animals look pretty wild. Their tusks are actually just 2 pairs of overgrown canine teeth. The lower canines stick out from the sides of the mouth, much like a wild boar's, but it's the upper canines that really make them stand out. In males, the upper tusks grow upward, pierce through the top of the snout, curve back in front of the eyes, and keep on growing. These dramatic tusks are more than just decorations. They're used in sparring matches between males and also play a role in attracting mates. There are currently 3 recognized species of Babirusa, though some scientists argue there should be 4. The Berlin Zoo is home to the North Sulawesi Babirusa. They're native to the Indonesian island of Sulawesi and a few nearby isles, making them an endemic species of Indonesia. According to the IUCN's 2016 assessment, the North Sulawesi Babirusa is classified as vulnerable, with an estimated wild population of around 10,000 individuals. Fewer than 15 zoos in Europe currently keep them. At the Antelope House lives one of the most elegant antelopes I've ever seen, maybe even the most beautiful. It's called the gerenuk, a species native to the eastern coast of Africa. By the way, The Antelope House itself is the oldest building still standing in the zoo, dating all the way back to 1872. There's always been debate about how giraffes evolved their famously long necks, but maybe the Gerenuk holds some clues. These antelopes are big fans of nibbling on high-up leaves and twigs, and over time, they've evolved longer necks and legs to reach them. So who knows? Given enough time, maybe the Gerenuk is on its way to becoming Giraffe 2.0. Personally, I think they're more likely to evolve into upright walkers. But hey, we'll just need to wait a few 100,000 years to find out. When that happens, I promise to make a follow-up video, so stay tuned to my channel for updates from the far future. Gerenuks are incredibly rare in zoos. In fact, the only places in all of Europe where you can see them are the 2 zoos here in Berlin. Originally, I was heading to the world of birds to see a kiwi, but I ended up stumbling across something totally unexpected. The black and rufous elephant shrew. What a fascinating little creature. Its long nose is what earned it the elephant part of its name, while the rest of its body looks similar to a shrew. So they just mashed the two together and called it an elephant shrew. Surprisingly, elephant shrews are distantly related to elephants. About 100 million years ago, they actually shared a common ancestor. Of course, after all that time, the family resemblance is, let's say, extremely subtle. These days, the only thing they really have in common is that funny little trunk. There are only about 20 zoos in Europe that currently house this species, and roughly half of them are in Germany. Most of these zoos only started keeping elephant shrews in 2023 or 2024, so it looks like this quirky little creature is having a bit of a moment right now. Berlin Zoo proudly claims to be the most species-rich zoo in the world. The zoo houses around 1,000 different species, including hundreds of fish, amphibians, reptiles, and invertebrates in the aquarium section. The diversity of mammals and birds is also impressive. During my visit alone, I managed to photograph 97 different species of mammals and 95 species of birds. That's not a small feat. Even though the zoo isn't enormous in size, the richness of its species truly blew me away. Many of the animals here are rare and almost impossible to find in other zoos. Themed areas throughout the park are thoughtfully designed and full of unique character, each one worth exploring at your own pace.